perfectly that it piques your interest and you can't see the world outside of it. One example that I want to move away from the Abdul El Sayed race is Francesca Hong. On Twitter, you would think that Francesca Hong's chances are done. She's dusted. It's over. That she's not the clear and present frontrunner in this Wisconsin gubernatorial primary. Because on Twitter, everyone's got the knives out for her. She's too woke. She tweets so much. And I get why people who tweet all the fucking time would care and place a lot of emphasis on tweets. Okay? In the real world, when we were door knocking, when we were canvassing for Francesca Hong, I didn't hear a single damn person be like, well, I was going to vote for her. But honestly, I don't know if she's electable. Why? Because she tweets. She tweeted woke things. Okay? She tweeted woke things in 2018 and 2020. Okay? No one makes this calculation, and yet, for some weird reason, everyone on Twitter is obsessed. And then Twitter is always the editor-in-chief of every newsroom in this goddamn country in all of these fucking mainstream outlets. So then that Twitter discourse turns into mainstream discourse. And then all we talk about is like Francesca Hong's fucking tweets. Okay? I think people need to pull their heads out of their fucking asses and lock in on what is far more important to the voters. Okay? I don't think people care as much about old tweets. Okay? And I know Cloud District Enjoyer is one of those guys. We have tried to reform him over and over again. You got to kill that tendency in your brain that says, I saw this is a big deal. I worry about her chances in the general. Okay? Dog, in the rural countryside where Francesca is going to shock the world, I promise you, the fucking houses that put up MAGA lawn signs and then put up Francesca Hong lawn signs are not worried about what she said about Thanksgiving. They're worried about the data center that's being built on top of their farmland. Okay? Especially at a time when Donald Trump is the fucking president and perhaps the most impactful political figure of this past decade. Please pull your fucking head that is lodged inside of your asshole outside of your asshole. Okay? Please. This concern is not a relevant one. I promise you. I don't know how I can convince you guys, but there is this election Twitter liberal tendency. We all get our notes from the people that we read. It's not just election Twitter. It's the Matty Iglesias tendency. It's the centrist Democrat electability argument. Oh, I like her policies, but I'm worried about what other people will say about her. This was a real fear for Abdul too. Okay? I'm not concerned about her chances in the primary. I'm a little concerned about her chances in the general, not because the independents and Democrats won't vote for her, but because Republican voters are online culture warriors and will turn out higher than otherwise. No, they won't. No, they won't. In the era of Donald Trump, what is a more important force? Close your eyes and think for a moment. In the era of Donald Trump, yes, Republicans are culture warriors and they're extremely online. This is true. But first of all, there's a couple problems with that. Tom Tiffany, not very strong. Okay, so that's number one. Tom Tiffany is not exactly like even a Ken Paxton figure, right? Where he's not able to captivate the Trumpian sentiment in the same way. I mean, he does the fucking, the yokel shtick himself, right? And Scott Walker did that and was very successful, but that was a different time regardless, okay? But in the era of Trump, do you think the Trump voters are going to be motivated to vote for something or against something when their number one priorities are going to be the cost of living? crisis, their number one priorities are going to be the data centers in their fucking backyards. You think they're going to vote for Tiffany? Boring ass Tom Tiffany? Fuck no. They're not. We're falling victim to what we see in our immediate circles. Republican voters are cattle. I'm sorry, they will vote to kill themselves if they sniff a culture war. You're right. But again, this is politics, and elections are a game of percentages. Okay? They are a game of percentages. You need to understand this. It's not about the entire base. Trump's not on the ticket, and Trump is also unfathomably unpopular. It's a +7 national race for the Democrats currently. So all of that is already in the fucking equation. Yeah. Everyone on the site makes too much of shit like this because it's easy to referee as bad. Sure, it's bad, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. Who are the people voting on how she answers the Thanksgiving question really? Half of the site's political commentary are just dudes playing American Idol judge on interview clips. It's fun, but come on, bros. Let's have a little humility and admit we're just kind of going off vibes. Also, can we just be honest and say we don't like the answer? Yeah. That's it. That's the argument. You don't personally like the answer. You think there's a better way to answer it. I don't even necessarily disagree with you, but in the long run, this is not going to be a problem. Okay? It's not. It's a little too Madison. I understand that. It's a little too Madison, but we are greatly overemphasizing how this is going to read, how this is going to be a major attack ad. Oh, old tweets this, old tweets that. There is a very effective counter to that. Okay? As long as the messaging from Francesca is a little bit more airtight and she uses the additional attention that her campaign is going to get, and it's already started, to reframe the issues around affordability over and over again and say, like, this is exactly why the media class is despised by the overwhelming majority of folks, she's good. Okay? So I said, you will see anti-Hong statements coming in hot after tonight's results from Republicans and Democrats. They will focus on our electability. Remember that it's all bullshit, just like with Zoran and the rest of the insurgent left. They do not fear our failure, but our success. Actually, I fear her failure because I think letting an election denier be the helm of a crucial swing state in 2028 is a very bad idea. I don't disagree with you. You're arguing against a position that I do not hold. Okay? You're just reframing the electability message in a different format. This is the electability message. You're being duped by people who have the fear of Francesca Hong's success. Okay? 1 like 88 views. No, this just came down. This person is probably in the fucking chat and heard me go on a long tangent about how annoyed I am with like election Twitter fucking dipshits who have never understood what it means to have moral conviction and actually run on a principled position, even if you don't fully fucking agree with this. Okay? Republicans and establishment Democrats want you to fear that Francesca Hong has no shot because her primary is not happening right now. Her primary is going to fucking happen next week. This is why being dumb as a rock is OP. Republicans convince them that they are dumb as a rock to the progressives, and then the progressives get paranoid about electability and everything they say to not offend the Republicans is not that important. Yes. I said the same thing, by the way. I wasn't the biggest fan of her message on this one. You know, it's not great. It's not. Like I said, it's too Madison. It's far too Madison. I said, But I think the far bigger problem here is the fact that people are still focusing on old woke tweets than the way that Francesca responded here.
You know, you talked about your past positions that he keeps highlighting and, you know, obviously likely would continue to do so before November should you win. One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. You know?
By the way, another thing that people need to understand is that she is so affable. She is so goddamn personable. That's the other problem for like the autistic Twitter hyperfixators, is that like this in Wisconsin is literally fucking Biscoff cookie butter. Okay? I'm not even joking when I say this. Brother, I have seen her work the rooms and state fairs. Okay? Even the most annoying fucking psychotic Republican, when faced with Francesca Hong's personality, melts. Okay? This shit, for the cold, hard, calculated Pete Buttigieg lovers, okay, is the worst possible answer. For the cold, hard, calculated Pete Buttigieg lovers, who are, you know, a dime a dozen on fucking Twitter, this is the opposite. This is the reverse, right? You're like, what? What do you mean you're 16 and you were fucking cooking at Thanksgiving? Just say no. Just lie. Right? That's the expectation. And yes, Edinger Mentum, to a certain degree, is that guy. 100%. Okay? I love Edinger Mentum, but he is Mr. John Ossoff's strongest soldier, and it is exactly the take. Okay? Even if there's some truth to the sentiment that this is a very Madison, Wisconsin take. Okay? This is every election understander forgets that there are forces beyond their comprehension. It's not always hard data, and it's not always who's the best on paper. Okay? I'll give you an example of this to a certain degree. The people who really love John Ossoff but don't like Pete Buttigieg. The only reason why they don't like Pete Buttigieg is because Pete Buttigieg has shown in those, you know, election polls that he cannot win over black folk. And if you can't win black voters, if you're 0% with black voters, you're not going to ever be the candidate. So that's the only reason why they don't like Pete Buttigieg. They're at least smart enough not to like him, but they still like John Ossoff. Why? Because John Ossoff is popular in Georgia, popular among black voters in Georgia as well. I like John Ossoff too, make no mistake. He is, you know, I don't like his policies. I like the concept of John Ossoff more than I like the policies. That's why I've always said, like, it's entirely dependent on how he carries himself going forward. If Zaid hears you, this will start a civil war on Twitter. I know. Zaid is John Ossoff's strongest warrior. He's got a little man crush on him. It's fine. I'm going to make a fucking bold take and tell you something. If there's a Democratic senator from Georgia that I would prefer, his name is Raphael Warnock. Raphael Warnock from 2018. Give me liberty or give me death. Give me Raphael Warnock from 2018 or give me nothing. Radical, liberal Raphael Warnock. That's the real truth nuke. That's the real fucking truth that you guys are not ready for. Okay? But anyway, these are all silly conversations that we're having. Central Committee is going to Brian Kilmeade. I think Central Committee would agree with this. Michael from Pennsylvania would agree with the thing that I said. If we're getting a senator from Georgia, I'd rather it be 2018 Raphael Warnock. Why would he disagree with that? 2018 Raphael Warnock was beast mode. Anyway. All of this stuff is stupid anyway. It's too far out.
I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so
you want to know what Francesca Hong's problem is? She's too not like a real politician and too much like an organizer. That's it. She's an organizer. That's the problem. And people want a politician. Zoran was able to dance between the two so well and actually really boost the politician in him because he had that edge. But Zoran's running in New York City. Wisconsin's a different story. And a lot of people, I think, want Francesca Hong to be this like cold, calculated killer like Zoran. There's a reason why all these fucking libtards love Zoran now, okay? It's because he's catnip for the libtards. He's able to carry himself in this like cold and calculated manner that they fucking love. Wisconsin is not New York City. Now, you'll say, exactly, that's our point. Wisconsin is filled to the brim with reactionary monsters. It's a swing state after all. I say, with Francesca's ground game, you won't know. You said this in your speech.
In deep blue districts, you can only win in Denver because it's deep blue, it's young. You can't win in swing states. Well, I say we are gonna prove them wrong. Not only are we gonna run up the numbers for Francesca Hong on August 11th, but we are going to take that victory to the general election to make sure that the Republican Tom Tiffany never gets a seat of power ever again.
Abdul also shows me his whoop recovery score and said he wanted to make sure I noted his weightlifting. Dude, that's so funny. We just remember we just had this conversation. That's crazy, by the way. He still gets fucking 6 hours of sleep is wild to me. That is wild. He has better. Bro, I've been losing more sleep on this fucking campaign than he has. What the hell? I think the thing about this clip is that it's not really woke 2.0. It's more like woke 1.0. I think it's almost anyone who wants this type of fighter. Hong could totally be fine if she laughed it off and said, I think Wisconsinites celebrate Thanksgiving for a variety of reasons. It's time for families to get together. Yeah, my argument, like if I'm in her shoes and I tweeted something like, oh, fucking, you should go to prison if you celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever, right? You know, in my peak woke era. Okay? You know what I would respond to it right now if I'm running? If I'm Francesca, okay? They ask me this question, I just laugh and I say, yeah, you know the real problem with Thanksgiving now is how much Trump has made life unfucking bearable, okay? Thanksgiving is not getting canceled because of my fucking tweets from 2018. It's getting canceled because Trump has made it impossible to exist. He's made the cost of living crisis far worse. And to add to that, this is at the heart of why people get frustrated with mainstream media, because you bring up my tweets from 2018 when the president is currently tweeting that he's going to do a genocide in Iran and actually follows through on that death and destruction campaign that makes Thanksgiving impossible to pay for. That's what I'm fighting against. To make Thanksgiving affordable. To make sure that people can put food on their tables. That's exactly what Tom Tiffany is advancing. Okay? Just don't fucking play defense. Just flip it. Flip it. Bring it back to affordability and move on. That's it. That's it.
So I think there I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve. And the position that I'm running for right now, and I think my background as a chef will actually help me become a better governor that's able to bring more people to the table.
Francesca Hong, thank you for joining us. We hope to.
Yeah, she's too nice. That's it. That's the problem. And it's not just Minnesota nice, it's Wisconsin nice too. And I don't think this plays as poorly as people think it does. It plays poorly to the fucking bicoastal elites who literally are just like, no, you don't understand. I know the hogs. I know the hogs in Wisconsin. They're going to hear this and they're going to want to kill her. Okay? My only notes on this is don't be so nice and reframe the question back to an issue that you can hit Tom Tiffany on. Always reframe back to your policies. Identify what your policies are and always hit those notes. That's the only lesson to learn from Zoran. Not everything else, not the aesthetics.
Have you back?
But just the intellectual judo that he played over and over again so effectively. Because this is a gift. Okay? Here's the thing. This is a gift. Any opportunity that you have because of these controversies, these fucking fake, stupid-ass controversies, is an opportunity that is unbelievably valuable. You're on mainstream media. They're trying to attack you. You're going to look clever, and you're going to remind people. Messaging discipline. You're going to remind people what you're running for. Okay? It's a gift. Abdul played it very well. Right? Abdul played it very well. Abdul asked me to stump for him. I came out. I didn't realize it was going to be a big issue. Right? He came out from. I came out for him. I stomped for him. All of a sudden, there was tremendous amounts of media attention on the race. What did Abdul do? Did he sit there and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I brought this dangerous radical. I brought this dangerous radical to Lansing. I brought this dangerous radical to Ann Arbor. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Is that what he did? No. He did not allow the oppositional framing to take root. He said, one, we're supposed to be everywhere and speaking to everybody. So the idea that this person is like too dangerous for me to align with is ridiculous. He has a massive audience. A lot of young people listen to what he has to say. I'm going to fucking capture the attention of those folks. This is why we lost as Democrats in 2024. We can't repeat that mistake. And then he turned around. And talked about his issues. He turned around and talked about his issues every single time. He used that opportunity in the spotlight to make the centerpiece of that conversation his policy platform. People don't care about Hassan Piker one way or another. You know what people care about? You know what people ask me? I go all up and down this. I've done 475 town halls. And you know what people ask me about? They don't say, why did you hang out with Hassan Piker? They say, what are you going to do for me? How are you going to solve the affordability crisis? Can you help me get health care? Perfect. Beautiful. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to fucking do. And in that regard, I would go so far as to say Abdul's even better than Zoran on that front, because that shows that you're a fucking straight up fighter. Okay? Oh, okay, Jay Mershon. Check previous. You misunderstand. You're wrong on this take on this stuff. She's saying that Thanksgiving is a hard time for some people because some people decide to feed their families with kalbi, with cheese instead of the normal stuff. Stop being dense, man. She's doing her best during this time. lived in the Midwest. The mindset can't be to figure out how to answer the questions being asked. You have to figure out how to use it to talk about your core message. I lived in the Midwest for 5+ years. This doesn't play great to the average Midwest should, but it's not fatal or anything. I know. We live in a post-Trump universe. You could have tweeted whatever the fuck you want. It is not irredeemable. It will never kill your chances. Okay? That's it. As long as you are resilient and stay on message and reframe everything to suit the broader policies that you are going to deliver on and how you're going to help people. Nobody gives a fuck about woke 1.0 tweets beyond, media fancy, media hyperfixations on previous things that you have said. Doors open. God damn.
One thing about Francesca's race that we need to do a better job of is find those 3 things that we stick to like a fly on shit. That every conversation comes back to them. Every time someone tries to distract you from the point, be like, stop distracting us from the issues that actually matter. And be like, old tweets. Who gives a shit about old tweets? I think every single person watching has a post they made on a social media site that they regret or they don't agree with now.
I agree.
It's not, who gives a crap? Like, please, let's move on and talk about the shit that matters. They did the same stuff with the Zoran in New York City.
Now imagine if he shaved and maybe cut his hair a little bit shorter and was wearing a suit. You would listen to what he's saying a lot more, right? That's what I think.
They kept trying to bring up old tweets, and now he's in office, and he's filled in 200,000 potholes. That's the type of rep I'm going to be. Freeze the rent is that is a cadence.
Hong needs to log in because K-File's coming out with an article in a few days. He already did. You can run from it, but K-File will arrive nonetheless, okay? If you ever even thought he is the Isaac Chodener of old tweets, okay? You might think in your mind, oh, I deleted these tweets. You might even think, oh, I wanted to maybe draft a tweet, but I never actually hit send on it. K-File will find it, but it doesn't matter. Okay? You might have thought, oh, I left that tweet in the drafts. I never tweeted it out. No. Andrew motherfucking K-File will find a tweet that you drafted and it will be a CNN article. It's just what it is. It is what it is. It's just death, taxes, and a K-File CNN article about your deleted tweets. So it's not about tweets that you have tweeted in the past. It's about how you reframe the conversation. Use it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity. These are all opportunities, folks. Remember. What am I telling you? Every moment that you have in the spotlight in mainstream media is a moment of opportunity for you to deliver your platform to a much broader audience. To a much broader audience. That's it.
Stop data centers. Boom, bam, boom. That's good. We need more of that. Free childcare. Stop data centers. Focus on the things and make that stick in people's mind. Francesca Hong should be stop data center, free childcare. Save our schools. Like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Stop Donald Trump. Save our schools. Free childcare. Stop data centers. Boom, boom, boom.
Anyway. Some days I hate the suit era, and then I'll remember how he used to dress is true. There's a broader point to be made about leftists constantly playing defense instead of attacking. Yeah, I think we have to be unapologetic. I am in favor of I'm in favor of my socialists being unapologetic. Okay? Have a little bit more swag, have a little bit more riz, be a little bit more unapologetic. And use every opportunity that you have. Use every opportunity that you have in the spotlight to push. To push. Here, I'll give you an example. 9/11. In 2019, I said America deserved it. In that same conversation, I explained what my position was. I said we brought it upon ourselves with our actions in the Middle East. That second part never got released in mainstream news, only the first part. 2 days after that, I went on the Young Turks and I apologized for the language that I used. It described what my position was, and I apologized for using the word deserved. That was 7 years ago. 7 years after the fact, people still constantly fucking use it to present me as a radical Al-Qaeda supporter. At a time when the Trump administration is giving the country perhaps most responsible for 9/11 an opportunity to develop nuclear arms. This is a testament to the ineffectiveness of apologies. No one cares. No one. And I mean, no one cares about your apology, because the people that hear you say that, if they care to understand your position, they will understand it. Most of the people who still try to make a big deal out of it are doing so cynically. They're weaponizing the memory of 9/11 to attack Muslims, which is ironically exactly what the American government did at the time. The Bush administration did at the time to kickstart the global war on terror, to attack Afghanistan, to attack Iraq. They weaponized the death and destruction to deliver devastating blow after devastating blow to people who had nothing to do with 9/11. That's it. If you really feel the need to apologize for something, it's going to make you feel better. Understand that you're only apologizing for yourself and for your own conscience. You're not apologizing to make people understand your new position or anything like that. Okay? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Your enemies will always cynically weaponize your past statements. So stop apologizing and start campaigning on your policies. Start telling people, use the opportunity that you have in the spotlight to frame the conversation back to what you will deliver and what your opponent fails to deliver. JT Sestkowski. What's going on? Oh, I didn't see your text. You sent me a text message? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. JT Saskowski says, I was at a polling place in Northwest Detroit where Haley Stevens was supposed to appear. She canceled after running late. Her staff says she's not doing any more public appearances today. Yeah, because she's cooked was the diagnosis of a campaign volunteer standing near me. Oof. Oof. Not good. Not good. Well, I mean, great for democracy, great for America First. We're America Firsters. We're the true America Firsters. Okay? We are the real America Firsters, not them. Not Trump. And certainly not Haley Stevens. The only thing surprising about that was that there was a Haley Stevens volunteer there. That's not surprising. They have a lot of money. They got a lot of money. We are the ones who carry the flame, folks. Remember that. Your influence is reaching Poland? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I wish I knew what they were saying. I wish I could understand this language. Kurwa! How do I translate on this page? There's a translate button? Oh, right here. There is one. If you want to defeat the right, adopt their style and fill it with leftist content without looking to mainstream media. Such a recipe for the attractiveness of Trumpism and the manosphere is prescribed by the left-wing political super influencer Hassan Piker. It wasn't a Stevens volunteer. Oh. Just for clarity, the volunteer was for a different campaign. What's good? Not Stevens. Yeah, great. Here, you want to pull it further. Pull it over there to stay out of frame. Just, yeah. No, I don't want you in frame. Super influencer. Haley voters say they won't vote for Abdul. Reporting in West Bloomfield, Haley Stevens' district. I'm encountering people who would vote for Mike Rogers if Abdul El-Say wins. Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, uncommitted. Uncommitted movement, baby. It's back. But this time, for literally no reason whatsoever. Yeah, who gives a shit? What is this, bro? I'm dying. This is the funniest shit. Here's what the new sticker of shame looks like. It was quite sticky and difficult to pull off. This vehicle violated New York City street cleaning rules. As a result, the street could not be properly cleaned. Scary how history repeats itself. That's... Come on, man. Come on. Come on, guys. The motherfucking ADL's after me, and you're over here showing joking or sincere comparisons to the to the yellow armband. Why are you dressing like a tortilla today? What? Jesus Christ. Geeks only. What is this? Hassan Piker says he's looking forward to... Dude, Austin Ox. Come on, man. I did not say that. Please delete this fucking tweet. This is such a dumbass tweet. I shouldn't have even looked at it. God damn it. Dude, don't post shit like that, please. Come on. Please lock in. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Please, brother, please. This is like a campaign with international attention. This has been your message for months.
My opponent thinks better things are possible. Yeah, good luck winning the primary with that message. Yeah, good luck winning the general with that message. Yeah, good luck winning the presidency with... We just can't simply afford to give everyone free everything. Because we got to send that money right to Tel Aviv. My opponent is crazy. He wants free everything, free everything. That pales in comparison to my policies, which are... Can we run a focus group really fast? My slogan is not Republican, asterisk. My opponent is a sexist. One time, you disagree with Michelle Obama. Somebody call the misogyny police because we're making arrests. My opponent's a socialist. You know who else is a socialist? My father, and he didn't like me that much, so I really hate this guy.
Wow, give this guy's the front runner, I think. We poll tested this, and it actually worked in every state, including the most important one, the state of Israel. Anyway, let's get back to the race.
Critics accuse him of fueling anti-Semitism.
Nobody will fight harder against anti-Semitism than somebody who intimately understands what it's like to be discriminated against because of how I pray.
Stevens calls herself a proud pro-Israel Democrat and says she won't allow outside money to buy her vote.
I have been very clear, consistent, and transparent, and I have continued to be. I want to see long-term peace. I want to see a two-state solution.
El Sayed has a double-digit lead in the polls, but when it comes to the general election, polls show Stevens running stronger against the Republican candidate, Mike Rogers.
Early morning voters in what's become the most expensive Democratic primary in U.S. race history. It's being seen as a fight for the very soul of the party.
I think we need to throw out the whole system.
Found your outfit of the day inspo? Come on, bro. Poliver vows to fight woke culture following new galactic disco cowboy makeover. Dude, you guys are fucked up. I'm wearing this outfit because of this tie, okay? Jesus Christ. I had a totally different outfit that I was going to wear today, okay? I was going to wear the Maddie Maroon. The maroon jacket in honor of Maddie Maroon. But I'm wearing the cream because I got this tie. Stop cooking me. God damn it. You guys, is this the Bill O'Reilly power hour? Everyone's coming after my tan suit like I'm Obama, dude. What the fuck? God damn it. To be fair, you look like you're going to play croquet in Connecticut with the heir to Morgan Stanley. Okay, fine. Yeah, I am. Okay. I am, dude. It's Gordie Howe Bridge time. Behind me is the Gordie Howe Bridge. Maddie Maroon, Trump's biggest donor. At least you have other clothes. Bro, yes, I have more than one article of clothing that I own, yes. Try to be like, check your privilege. Some people only own one piece of clothing, one article.
Yeah, and redo it.
Chatter hit me with the "there's starving children in Africa" line.
Got to be a Democrat that is opposing all of the things that have happened so far with Trump in office.
Who will be on the ticket to replace Michigan's retiring Democratic senator?
We are ready for change.
It matters for two reasons. The party needs this seat if they're to retake the Senate. But perhaps more importantly, this race has come to represent the wider ideological clash within the Democrats as they debate which direction they should take.
This is the lady that was bird dogging me. This is my bird dog. Dude, that interview was so good, low key.
Into the next election. The question has led to deep divisions and disunity within the party, and the answer will have huge implications, not just here, but across the country.
Abdul El Sayed grew up as Michigan as you get.
The choice? An insurgent, progressive Muslim doctor, or
I'm Haley Stevens, and I'm so proud to be from Michigan.
an experienced, establishment-backed centrist.
Today, we're getting screwed, and the billionaire class gets richer. Trump's
It's drawn national attention and become one of the most expensive and contentious of contests.
Our next U.S. Senator, Abdul El Sayed.
A packed community centre on Rosa Parks Boulevard. We're at Al Sayed's last rally before the polls open. Hugely.
By the way, that rally was beast mode. His speech, his like closing speech was so fucking good, dude. Holy shit. He's also playing the dude, like after Abe said just copy Obama as a argument or as a tip for Zoran, I realized like yeah, he might be probably the most like skilled orator of our generation as a political talent, and everyone does kind of do it in their own way. And Abdul definitely was hitting the Obama lines too, but it was so fucking good. Like, can you imagine, dude? I'm thinking of like Haley Stevens doing a similar argument. No, this is not new. This is an old Gustavo take. This is from the last time Gustavo was on Fox News. They're just reheating it. They're reheating his old nachos. Can you imagine like Abdul El Sayed's speech about how like, look, America is the land of promise, certainly, but there's also a lot of work that we've put in, a lot of struggle that we put in along the way in our 250-year history, and there's no reason to lie about it. Actually, we should take ownership over those setbacks and the ownership over those victories, right? And our work continues, our struggle continues, you know, all this stuff. I'm thinking like, what would Haley Stevens' like closing speech be? And we know what it is. It was literally, they had a Maoist pool party. They had a Maoist at the pool party. Maddie Maroon. Like, Israel comes to me in my dreams. Her closing speech is going to as many districts as possible and then quitting while she's, you know, when she realizes that she doesn't have it. And basically telling all the people that are walking up to the polls, hey, now that I have your attention, did you know Abdul was hanging out at a pool party with Mao's biggest donor, Hassan Piker, Maddie Maroon? Like, dude, even if I was like, yeah, I was going to vote for you, but I heard that and now I'm voting for whoever is in opposition to whatever the fuck you're saying. Like, what a horrifyingly bad closing message, dude. And it is so funny because, like, centrist Democrats, establishment Democrats for years and years told us, centrist Democrats told us that we were extremely online, that our policies do not work in the real world. It's just like only in academic circles. Only in academic circles do our policies work, right? Like that was the argument. Only in Twitter do our policies work. It's too pie in the sky, these idealistic concepts like better things are possible, right? Meanwhile, the closing message of Maddie Maroon, Trump's biggest donor, is literally, well, my opponent had a Maoist pool party with Hassan Piker. That is literally the most online message you can end a fucking campaign on, especially when your goal is to captivate the 65-plus-year-olds. They do not know who the fuck I am. It's crazy. Network connection loss. Please check reload your browser window. They took it down because it was embarrassing. Haley